We are currently at the Grand Canyon, and it certainly looks a lot different than I remember it. But we're at the Visitor Center, which has a lot of displays up. So you could learn about the canyon and the different trails, and then try to figure out what you want to do. This right here is a display for the explorers who came through here. And the Visitor Center is like the hub of everything. And what I learned from this trip so far is that they actually have varying trails that you can go on and walk. Now, my wife and I are only here for a couple hours, so we're not going to go on anything too elaborate. We're probably going to go on a tiny little trail and take you along with us, just to explore. The last time I was here with my children, we didn't really go on a trail at all, but kind of just hung out and took some pictures. So this go around, my wife and I will be taking an easy trail. We haven't figured out which one yet, but we're going to try to figure it out now. My wife and I are like total noobs at this, and not quite sure where to go, but it looks like the rim trails are easy and even handicap accessible. So that's the ones we're going to go towards. And I think the initial ones is like Mather Point. So it points you this way. So we're going to be following this arrow out this way, trying to hit the rim trails. And I'll be taking you along with me. So stay tuned. Some of the levels, what they consider easy, moderate, and difficult. You can pause it just if you want to read it. But we're going to go on the easy one because we aren't prepared. We don't have any gear. This was just a real quick visit to the canyon, so we're planning on walking around for a couple hours. Alright, so here we are. We're starting for the Mather. I guess it's Mather View or Mather Point. I think it's Mather View is the initial location we're going to start from because it's considered an easy trail. As a matter of fact, I think it might even be paved the whole way. So you'll be coming along with me on that walk as my wife and I learn about the Grand Canyon and what it's like to hike out here. The Grand Canyon has changed quite a bit since I was here last time, which was about 15 years ago. We are going to Mather Point, and it actually has little arrows that show you where to go. So we're going to go there, and I'll be taking you to show you what Mather Point looks like. So here we are at Mather Point. That was a trail that we just walked up. It's not really a trail, it's more like a path. And Mather Point is this like famous view that everybody gets a photo of, showing what the canyon actually looks like. And you can see it's quite a drop down there. And there's where people go to look, honey. That's where we go to the edge there to look at Mather Point, but we'll go there in a moment. Just want to get a quick look over here right now. But you can see that the canyon is just vast. It goes on and on and on. That's why they call it the Grand Canyon, right? But that must be Mather Point right there where all the people are standing. So we're going to try to go down there and get some pictures and just get a really nice view. To be honest, it looks like they've changed this whole area and made it safer. I don't remember these rails being here. Maybe they were here and I just didn't see them. I know I saw little kids running along the edge here, which was crazy. And I think I saw a couple sitting there. But they've got it all blocked off now. So let's go take a look. So we're currently at Mather Point, and I wanted to show you what the view looks like from up here. You can see this is how vast the canyon is. It's got kind of a grayish blue mist. There's all the people over here. Let's see. The people posing there, having fun. Let's read a little bit about what this is all about here. It says he laid the foundation of the National Park Service, defining and establishing the policies under which its areas shall be developed and conserved unimpaired for future generations. There will never come an end to the good that he has done. So this is Stephen Ting Mather, who was the person that they named this location after.
So did that guy die?
So, I'm going to take you guys down there so you can kind of get a look as to what it looks like. You can see the canyon is very steep. They have changed it a lot since I was here about 15 years ago. It looks like it's been made a little bit safer. The rails and all this stuff built out here make it a lot easier to access everything. But you can look right on down there at the canyon. Just thought I'd share with you guys what the view looks like up here on one of the viewpoints. I think that's Mather Point right there. We're at the other side where they have a tree where you can pose at, which we're going to go pose on in a minute. But this shows you the drop of how deep it really is here. And you can see that the canyon just goes on and on and on. And if you look down, you can see little trails down there. I think that's where the people can walk, the people who are better equipped and a lot more experienced hikers. They can actually hike all the way down there. But it is an amazing, amazing place to be. Just looking here at everything here is just so... And there's some really brave people out there on the tip out there. Brave or foolish. So would I recommend walking this rim trail here, the Mather Trail? Yeah, the answer would be yes, absolutely. If this is your first time here, definitely worth checking out. The views here are spectacular. The trail is somewhat easy and safe. You could even be here in a wheelchair. I was reading on the thing, you can even bring your pet here to walk them on a leash, of course. But you can see the canyon like right behind me here. Isn't that just like incredible? It's like breathtaking. So, get some really nice views walking around on the rim. This is probably all we're going to do today just because I've only allocated about 4 or 5 hours to be here at the canyon. That's not really enough time to hike down there on those trails that you see down there. I don't know if you can see the trails. There's like little trails and there's like a water spot down there where you could probably go. So people who are a bit more adventurous can do that. But for now, my wife and I are just happy to be here up on this top rim walking around. Maybe I was mistaken about how much safer they made it, because even though this is the rim walk, the Mather's Walk area, they do leave this exposed area where you could like go right up to the edge and fall off. And people are posing for pictures like right there on the cliff edge. Like they go stand on that rock and you can see it's about to break and fall off. But people do, and look down there on the bottom. Those people are down there taking selfies and pictures, and I don't know. My heart just even watching them. I'm not gonna go further than this. You can see how far I am from the edge. I will not go any closer than this. But there are people who, I just saw them hopping onto the edge and just standing on the little ledge like that. I'm like, are you crazy? But they do that. And every year, I don't know what the statistics currently are, but when I was here last time, I think it said like 38 or more people fall down each year into the canyon and die. And then you can see like people sitting on the edges there. To me, that's just crazy. That's just crazy. But I guess there's like a little trail down there too to start to hike down. And some people are hiking down there, so those people are prepared to actually hike down. Me, I'm not. So just thought I would take you guys along and show you what the this is what they consider the safe trail. And as you can see, you can go right up to the cliff. People go right up to the edge. I guess it's as safe as you want it to be. people go up, and they even have little branches people sit on, and look, people get pictures right there on the edge. You see the people go onto the edge cliff, of the cliff of the edge, or the edge of the cliff rather. I am not that brave. My wife's been like hopping to the edge trying to get some dramatic pictures and giving me a heart attack. Holy schmoly. I'm like, come back, honey, come back towards me. You know, just stepping off even 2 feet off the sidewalk here, to me is scary. I could not step to that edge and look. I could not do it. It's just too scary for me. I'm gonna come down here though. Look at that. Oh, there's that. There's the lake I was telling you about, honey. See that? See the lake? People go down there. There's a hiking trail. You will hike down there. On that, in the visitor center, that's where they tell which trail to take to get down there, and how long it takes and how hard it is. But look at the valleys and stuff. It is just amazing. What I was talking about is that little lake down there. See that little area? And I don't know if it's showing up on the camera, but I think it's going to show up kind of misty, and it is. There's like a purplish blue haze all over. So, really beautiful, somewhat peaceful. As I look around this trail, I realize that it hasn't really changed much. It may actually be the same trail as before. I noticed that the walking path here is actually the same one, and they let you have access to the edge, which is why people fall off. Now me, I'd rather stay on this trail because it's safer. You know, call me chicken, but that's what it is. That's the reality. I cannot go up to the edge. Oh, my wife is standing next to the edge. I'm gonna turn off the camera because she's freaking me out. You can like hear the birds and see the little birds chirping around here. It's kind of very peaceful to be out here. Now at the main area, it was full of people, but here, in this area, you see I'm actually at the edge of the cliff. The rocks here. It does make me a little bit nervous here, but you see that little bird right there? Right there on the cliff edge. To be a bird, you don't have to be afraid of falling. Look at him go. They have the ability to just fly and not worry about falling. Me, on the other hand, the drop down there into the canyon freaks me out. There's a little bird up here on this branch. Wanted to show you guys a little bit of the trail. They've got little benches here for you to sit on to relax. And it's just amazing. Look at that view down there. That is one deep drop.
We raced the boat. Come on.
Isn't that just beautiful?
We were taking boats. We raced down one.
I can't believe how grand this is. Maybe that's why they call it the Grand Canyon. Oh my gosh. To think that this was all made by water? This is crazy. You see where the river went. The flow right there. This would be such a nice little walk. Can you imagine? You can camp here and come out and go for a walk every morning. And there's like little lakes and stuff in different areas where people, I guess you can hike all the way down there and do things. I just thought I'd show you something that I think scares the heck out of me. But I told you earlier in the video that people fall all the time. But you can see those two, I don't know if you can see those two people sitting there. But see the rock they're on? The ledge? Notice the crack? See how the rock is actually cracked underneath them? And they're sitting on there without a worry. That is a rock that can break and fall right off down the cliff into the canyon. Freaks me out, but people do it all the time, which scares the heck out of me. There's like all sorts of forests and stuff here on the side too, where you can hear the birds. So it's very peaceful. Can you hear the birds? Of course, as soon as I stop, the birds stop. They're freaking out. There they go. Listen to the birds.
Oh, geese.
And then, of course, on that side you have nature and the birds, and on this side you have the canyon. This has probably been the best nature walk I've ever been on. As I sit here to catch my breath, I look at how beautiful everything is, and it's all natural and actually quite dangerous. You can see people could actually hop down there and go and sit on that ledge with that tree that can fall at any moment. And there's nothing here to stop the visitors from doing that. See? They don't even have it blocked off. You have the sidewalk here that they built for the people to walk on. You can even walk your pets or come here with a wheelchair if you needed to. It's wheelchair accessible. But they leave it totally open, and you can see the ground looks kind of flat because people have walked to those edges. And I'm looking here, I think some people have hopped down here and hopped around to that edge. Because I see it looks like a trail, a little footpath trail. But I was just thinking how interesting it is that this is so beautiful and scary and all real, and they give you access to it. Unlike when you go to a theme park like Disney, where it looks scary, but it's all fake, and they actually block your access. Whereas this is a national park, and it seems like the government doesn't care if you fall off and die. I guess there's no liability if you're at a national park and you die, right? But if you're at Disney and you die at Disney, Disney has to pay up. If you're at a national park and you're stupid enough to go on the ledge and it breaks and you fall, that's on you. But I thought that was really interesting because if you look here, these two pieces used to be connected. See where the gap is? That used to be a solid piece, but chunks of it fell down. The people coming and hopping and sitting on the edge, they're not thinking about that at all. I'm looking at it, and I'm looking at that piece of rock, and I'm looking at the other piece of rock, and they are the same material, and they used to be connected. But, you know, people do what they do. They even have areas where you can just sort of sit and enjoy the view and take pictures. So this particular trail is really awesome. I really like what they did with it. Do you guys see what I see? Right there, there's a little, you see that canyon wall? There's a little tiny, where's my finger here? There seems to be a little tiny opening right there in the center. It's like a little window. Somebody could go live in there. Maybe that's Yurt 5.0.